Hello everyone, this is Super Comic Girl and welcome back to my channel. One of the first reviews that I did for the new year was included DC versus Vampires issue number 12. So you guys know about my review of that one. So this is kind of a summary of of the whole series, and I don't remember every part of it, so if I don't do like a 35-40 minute review, it is because I don't remember everything in this this maxi series, they call it. So first, and for people that may not know, and the first thing I did was like looked up like, okay, what Earth does this series take place in? We find out it's Earth 63. And I do not believe Earth 63 was mentioned when Flash was going through the different multiverses to defeat this thing. So, Earth 63 is identical to Prime Earth, or the DC Prime universe, except for one thing. You have Hal Jordan instead of I forgot the guy's name, and I really like him. He's a really cool character. So the difference between it is that Andrew Bennett, who is a vampire that is famous for being able to stave off his hunger, arrives to warn the Justice League that Mary, Queen of Blood, has been assassinated and that there's trouble coming. What he doesn't realize is he's too late. Andrew Bennett is a very interesting character, and one that I was really happy to see, even for the short time that he was around. So we later on find out that Nightwing is the king of the vampires, the vampire king, and he has been going around and he has been changing the heroes of the DC universe on Earth 63 into vampires. And they in turn infect other heroes, and then it goes down to the population that these heroes are supposed to be defending. The thing about is that no sooner are they actually turned into one, but everything that they believed in is forgotten. They literally do not have any concept of what they're doing is wrong. The only thing that they care about is sating their hunger, and they commit some of the worst atrocities that you can even begin to imagine. And that is, of course, farming people for food, which is probably the highest, I'll tell you, it's probably the lowest that any of them has ever gotten. And the fact is that they don't care about people anymore. They see them as food. That's all they see them as. And it's really sad to see Wonder Woman, who is supposed to be this great defender of the world of man, not caring anymore about man. And you kind of wonder, what about Paradise Island? I mean, where is it at? It's never mentioned at all. So does this mean that when Wonder Woman became a vampire, that the gods locked her out of Paradise Island? They probably did, because Paradise Island, as far as I know of, was never ever invaded by vampires. Because you gotta remember, the gods protect Paradise Island. So you have these heroes. You have like Shazam, who is supposed to be Earth's mightiest hero, and he gets turned into a vampire, while Billy Baxton is still human. And you got Hawkman. We have no idea whatever happened to Dr. Fate. Clarion, of course, sees this as an opportunity for chaos, but he doesn't really do much because, everybody's doing it for him. But with the series now over and Dick Grayson now dead in the second time, we now have this new vampire queen, who is, of course, everyone knows, happens to be Batgirl. And she is just as bad as Nightwing. But the difference, I think, with her is that she's got these enemies that she has to get rid of so that she doesn't have to worry about being killed again. But this is the thing that gets me about the whole series, was how easily they were corrupted. I mean, literally, you have Andrew Bennett, who was bitten by a vampire in the late 1600s, and he's not evil at all. He's managed to keep some of his humanity. But these people glorify in the ability to cause pain and heartache and death and everything. They just don't care about anyone but themselves. And now they're being ruled over by someone who equally doesn't care about anyone but herself. Constantine dying was shocking. I always thought that Constantine wouldn't die, but he's a ghost, so yeah. The death of Superman was sad. I mean, it really was. I mean, just for a split second, he had his humanity back, and then he was dead. And, Batman dying in issue 6 was like, oh my god. Like, yeah. But I think that, how they ended it, even though I really wasn't a fan of how they ended it, I really think that DC is setting it up to where we're going to get a spin-off of it, especially with the refugees that Nightwing allows to leave Earth. And of course, naturally, they're going to spread the word that that Earth is not a place you want to go to. And I'm pretty sure that the Green Lantern Corps probably is going to declare Earth to be off limits. Especially, of course, with one of their own being a vampire. And the thing about it is that I think Hal Jordan died in the series. I'm not exactly sure. Like, remember, I don't remember everything in the series. But overall, it turned Earth into this really twisted, dark world. And yes, I know some people say how they ended it actually sets it up for a spin-off and a sequel and all that stuff. And if they do it, that'll be really great. But I don't really think people are going to be too into going back to Earth 63. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that will. But the weird thing about Elseworld series is you don't really go back to them. You just don't go back to them. You literally just put the books away and just, okay, let's move on to something else. But I did enjoy it. I just did not really like the ending to it. And I explained that in my review, that I just really did not like the ending to the story. I really think that there should be a standalone issue where we all find out what happens to the Earth after Batgirl becomes the Queen of Blood. And everything. I don't really, if they do plan to do a spin-off or a sequel to it, I definitely would be interested in reading it. Now, if you you really want to make me laugh to no end, send the DC the vampires to Earth 13. It would be hilarious because they're like, damn, another vampire invasion. And it's hilarious. It really is. Because, yeah, let's just go Earth 13 and infect people. Because, there's nothing they can do to stop us. And Earth 13 is full of occultists. I actually read that, and I actually thought it was just hilarious. Like, really? You go into a universe full of magic users, and they're like, really? Why are you invading us? We have done nothing to you. But it was, I read it, I was laughing. I was like, just send them Earth 13. And then soon all the vampires will want to drink coffee. I just thought that's just weird, but it was funny. It was funny, and I enjoyed it. But in a serious note, is these vampires going to leave the Earth and go to other worlds to infect people, to turn them into vampires? And are there any good vampires in Earth 63? Because if there is, then there is hope. there is hope for the planet. But I have to say, only two good vampires, and that was Mary Marvel and Damian Wayne. Those are actually I read that Alfred Pennyworth got turned into a vampire, so it was three. And everything. But we'll see what happens. I really hope that if they do a spin-off, they don't wait too long, because people are going to forget about what DC versus Vampires was all about. They're going to forget about Earth 63. And if you wait years before doing a spin-off or a sequel to it, people aren't going to buy it, because people will be like, what the heck is this? But like I said, if they do a spin-off, please don't make it a couple years later, because people aren't going to dig up their old DC comics to read up on and go, oh, okay, that's what it was about. So definitely keep it while it's fresh in people's minds and all that. But will I read it? Yeah, I will, because I definitely will probably go, oh yeah, I remember that. But it was really weird about Earth 63 and about how easily these heroes were corrupted, and how easily, as I said before, they threw away everything they believed in to follow Nightwing. It's I know some people will probably say, well, the reason that they turned evil was because they were subservient to Nightwing. It just seems like that his evil is contagious like a virus. And even Captain Cold had said, because when he had gotten bitten and everything, he said it was something about the saliva. And I think what it is with the saliva is that it carries that link. And the only way that the link can be set is if you drink from the vampire has fed on you. But another thing really got me really kind of really going, what the fuck, was how quickly she drank from Nightwing. I think that she had her plan to kill him and to take over. So she didn't fight the blood. She didn't fight the wound. She drank from it immediately. Which kind of tells me that she had it planned out this way. She knew that Nightwing would choose her as his successor. But poor Harley Quinn. I mean, I really felt bad for Harley Quinn in this whole freaking series, because this girl got freaking fed on just to kill Nightwing. And I'm just, oh, that poor girl. I feel bad. She is going to have more issues than she has now. But yeah, I just feel bad for Lex Luthor who died, and everything. But yeah, it's just, it was a good series. I enjoyed it, but the ending, yeah, just, I hope that Dark Knights of Steel, the ending is better, and we get a conclusion. We get a conclusion to the whole thing, and it feels like it's a conclusion. DC versus Vampires feels more of a, well, we're going to do some spin-offs and some sequels to this one, so that's why we're not just clearing everything up. But just, yeah, it was stupid. It's just really stupid. It was just like, oh yeah. They bowed down to her and all that stuff, and yeah. So that is my impression of the whole series. Like I said, it was well written, and I did enjoy it. But as I said, the ending left a lot to be desired. And as I said, I just hope they don't. If they do a spin-off or a sequel, I hope they do not wait too long. So. But anyways, off to other books to read. I will officially save over $6 in what I spend in comics, because I'm not doing that. Another thing I want to say before I close, I do still do my pull list. It's just like on the 4th, I did not have a lot of money to spend on comics, as you all know from the real small haul. I'm mainly focusing on DC, because DC, their tones are a lot darker than Marvel. And also, they've had a couple really good titles and runs, like DC vs. Vampires and DC vs. Vampires All Out War, and, Dark Knights of Steel and everything. So, definitely going to be doing a lot more of buying off of DC. Now, the only exception to the rule is I will still be doing the Dark Web event. However, with that, I'm only buying like 1 or 2 comics from the Dark Web event, and that's because events really, I've noticed that they got a bunch of comics from the Dark Web event that people are not even remotely interested in buying. So I have no doubt that I will be able to get my hands on these comics. So if people are like, oh, you only got 1 or 2 Marvel comics, and the reason for this is that I'm really not into Marvel like I was when I first started collecting. I was going to solely get just Marvel because I really did enjoy shows like Moon Knight. Miss Marvel was better than She-Hulk. I know I'm probably going to get hate for it. But I'm just like, So, I'm just more into like the DC comics than I am with the Marvel. But, anyways, yeah, so I'm buying probably about 2 Marvel books probably every week. Save my tip money up and everything. And the last Wednesday of the month, I will take all my tip money and buy a boatload of comics and all that type of stuff. So I'm going to here. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and my impressions of the visit to Earth 63. And we'll see what DC does with Earth 63. Hopefully, as I said, hopefully we'll get more of it. So I will see you guys around until next time. Keep reading. Bye.